Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Legends of Mahōrea, aka Ryu Drama, as I have taken to calling it, and I'm just not going to stop. That's what this is now. This is all of the high school drama, plus all of the murder drama, and every kind of drama. But before we launch into the drama itself, let's have a little bit of a chat. Let's talk. On the vague mention of high school drama, Jess, you and Lindy played Monster Prom recently?
We sure did. Oh boy. Yeah, that
we were
was
the
a
two
thing.
who got dates too.
Hey, nice.
Yes, we we played with Will, Voice Snacks, another friendo my stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned things that we didn't need to learn. Lindy is the perfect Miranda. The most perfect princess. And I got to rap live on stream.
Oh my god, I saw the clip of that. That was so good.
That was the thing that happened because I wasn't expecting it, and I was already 30% of the way in, so I just had to go for it.
It was quite good, especially for having it sprung on you and just sort of like in the second line being like, I guess I'm doing this now.
I was like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay. Here goes. Yes, so, Vera's hit single for bank robberies. I like big crimes and I cannot lie.
Love it. What else have you been up to this week?
I played Firebrands, or started to play Firebrands yesterday with M of E-Truffery fame, Soft Signal, our good Julie, and Megan Lynn for the win. We have made a glorious mecha anime trash fire. I am the garbage can ace pilot boy. We're gonna make some secondary characters just to round things out, and I will have a villain and have a lovely power couple with M.
Ooh.
We're going to be our most garbage and most evil, and it will be just fine.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
I actually haven't. I've heard a lot of people talk about Firebrands, but I haven't had the opportunity to look at the rules yet.
You played The King is Dead, right?
Yeah, it's similar.
It's literally
to
that.
Oh, okay, but mecha, right?
Yeah, I think The King is Dead is actually a hack of Firebrands.
Oh.
By the same people. So
Right. It's all Baker's stuff.
Yeah, it's all the Bakers. But I think Firebrands was actually the originator of that system, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Cool. Cool.
I like the way it works for action things like the sword to sword game that comes into it. That's really helpful. I've found it's really, really stunting on roleplay capability in the social scenes. Because of basically it's like, here's your questions that you can ask and how do you respond kind of thing. I'm not
right.
I struggle real hard against that, and I don't enjoy it.
My interpretation on those, at least with The King is Dead, is similar to how I tend to interpret questions in Powered by the Apocalypse games. It's like either I'll ask the question and then explain my real meaning behind it, or I will say a thing and then, as an aside, be like, I'm asking this question, just with the words that I said. And I find that, personally, a really, helpful tool for using the questions as sort of a springboard to roleplay moments. But I also, my brain has been trained into, since I was 5, looking at a thing and associating it with a billion other things, so that exercise is really easy for me. But I can absolutely see how being like, this is the list of things you were supposed to say, can feel really restrictive.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from me having just done freeform roleplay for 20 odd years, and then suddenly being like, you must say these 5 things.
Right.
How about I just improv and don't do that?
Right.
But as a general springboard for creating a setting, it's kind of interesting.
And I think it makes a lot of sense in The King is Dead because you're dealing with these political entities, right? These people as politicians who have to observe certain rules. So if you want to get specific information out of a person, you need to find a way to do it within that structure, which makes a lot of sense in games where you're doing sort of a medievalist thing or a Regency era thing, but falls apart when you're playing characters that don't fit into those rigid social structures.
I've played The King is Dead. It worked. That structure felt okay there.
Mm-hmm.
It felt clunkier in Firebrands to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But doesn't make it bad, just not my speed.
Right.
As written.
Well, I look forward to hearing the continued garbage adventures of...
Never just a one-shot.
Yep.
That's how we do things.
Every time. That's how this show happened. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jolie, how have you been?
I'm good. I've been good. Feeling better from last weekend. That was really intense. And I had to leave.
Yeah.
My body does weird stuff. But that's okay. I'm here and I'm good.
When bodies do that. It's like,
don't.
Hey, have you ever thought about the fact that you're like a jello creature trapped inside of a weird meat machine? No? Okay, let me remind you.
Yeah. I'm doing good. I cooked dinner for my mom and made brownies as well. And that was good. Yeah. Awesome. And I wanted to say something about The King is Dead. I think, or at least I haven't played Firebrand, so I don't know like the clunkiness difference between the two. But I think the one thing that I personally agree with the fact that like it can feel a little bit restrictive. And same like with the Apocalypse World's like options for certain questions you can ask people. But I have found when I played with friends who don't play role-playing games whatsoever, it's really helpful for those people to get into it, because then they don't have to like think of lines to say or anything. They can literally just pick them off the page.
Right. Agreed.
So
that is the thing that I found. I think it's good in principle because it is helpful for folks who maybe role-playing isn't like their first thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps level that playing field a little bit.
Yeah, but like it's definitely...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
For folks who are like really up on their role-playing bullshit, it feels very restrictive.
Yeah, it's definitely like really fun to... It's my way of like gateway drug role-play.
Here, just try it. You'll like it.
Yeah.
First one's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
so
hey, kid.
It just now I'm thinking role-playing games is way more like nefarious than they actually are. They are not. They are fun. It's a good way to introduce friends to role-playing.
The sort of the struggle that I run into with a lot of the games that the bakers make, and introducing freeform roleplay elements into those, is the games that they tend to make are very light systems, right? Like there's not a whole lot of meat there, and I think a lot of the effort and dev time, and this is purely speculation, I don't know them personally, certainly not well enough to really say what their process is like, but I suspect that a lot of the dev process those games goes into defining and describing the tone of the game and working that into the mechanics. And so when I try to introduce freeform roleplay into those, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get rid of, the list of questions on read a situation, for example, or something like that, then there isn't a whole lot of game left. And I find myself, as a person, like I really like the feeling of playing a game. I often struggle with the sense that I'm not actually playing a game anymore, that I'm just sort of doing free form like ruleless LARPish kind of stuff, which isn't necessarily a bad way to play a game, but is a thing that I struggle with because I personally get a lot of enjoyment out of the gameplay layer of playing a role-playing game. Whereas like in D&D, the entire thing is a game. Like the entire thing is just a huge mountain of mechanics. Please enjoy. And like even Mouse Guard, right? Like presents as a really light game, and it's definitely more improvisational than strategic, but it is a crunchy game. So in those systems, like when you pull a little bit back and infuse some of that freeform RP into them, it still feels like you're playing a game. But I struggle a lot, especially with PBTA, with The King is Dead, those kinds of the games that the bakers specifically tend to make. If I tweak with the system in a way that doesn't like replace a mechanic, it removes a mechanic. I've run into this thing where I've like pulled all the parts out of the car around me, and then I'm just sitting in like an empty chassis. But yeah, they're definitely good tools for introducing new players. I think sort of on another axis from PBTA, like Fate does a really good job of introducing new people to role playing, because the entire thing is like every time I brought new people into Dungeons and Dragons when I was doing home games, I would have people be like, "Can I do this thing?" Or like, "How do I do this thing?" And then I have to be like, you would have had to have made a different decision 3 levels ago, or like, you know, stuff like that. But with Fate, it's just like, oh, no, you roll the dice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Anytime,
I guess it's a difficulty like 6. Go ahead.
Yeah, like it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. It's not likely you'll do it. But like all of those moments where someone who doesn't have the conventions of a game comes in and is like, I want to summon a dragon, or I want to punch the tank. You say like, sure, yeah, you can do that.
Give it a try.
Yeah, it puts the onus a little bit more on the GM to sort of figure out like difficulty levels of different roles and stuff. But other than that, like, it's definitely.
Whereas I feel like
light.
PBTA is really good at bringing people who are like, I have a lot of conventional ideas built from playing, say, video games, right? Like I know the general terminology of gaming as a very broad culture. I understand that concept, but I don't want to come up with stuff all the time. Like having those lists is really good for those people. But for the people who are like, I played Monopoly as a kid. That is what gaming is to me. Like Fate tends to work a little better.
I haven't played Fate yet. It's literally like the second RPG book I bought after D&D things, and I've read some of it. I've watched an actual play. I don't understand it enough to run it.
I've played it a couple times. I'm just not a fan. Not a thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's pretty hit or miss for me. I think a lot of it, like the most fun I've had playing a Fate game was a hacked version of the game. It was
I play tested their Cthulhu one, which was fun, but it's because I liked the themes less so the mechanics. I won't not play it, but I won't be like, ooh, let's play Fate. So
right. Well, I feel like that's sort of the thing with Fate is like, because you can do anything with it. It struggles to do anything more interestingly than another system. And which is part of what I loved about Oubliette, was it was like, this is a very interesting, well-defined setting, and then a bunch of stunts and skills associated with that setting that makes it separate from just base Fate core.
Yeah, that's another reason I liked the Cthulhu one a bit more too, because there was specific Cthulhu things, and you went crazy. And I went crazy.
So basically, what I'm saying is, at some point, I need to run Oubliette for you guys. So,
all right,
we'll see.
Noted.
Lindy, have you been?
Hi. I played Monster Prom with Jess, and we had a lot of fun. And we both got dates to prom, which validates the homeschooler me who never went to prom.
Validates the loser me who also never went to prom.
Yeah.
Despite going to a public school.
I'm like, so this is what prom's like. Cool. This is what it's probably a very horrible thing because it's like, I'm like, is this high school? And it's
definitely. It's very accurate to the
Perfect.
High school experience.
Excellent. I'm living it. I'm living it then.
I wish I could correct you, but I can't.
It's funny, like we're talking about prom, because just this morning I started thinking about my prom experience. Like what was it, like 10 years ago or something? Maybe, no, more than that, 13 years ago. And it was it just popped into my head this morning because it was not good.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that was really bad. Like I had a bit of a falling out with like my best friends who were my best friends for like elementary school and high school, and it was like the month before prom, so I didn't go with them. So I ended up going with these random people that I kind of knew but didn't really know that well. And yeah, that was my prom.
Yeah, I didn't have prom.
You were good afterwards.
I did go to a couple JROTC dances in my early 20s because I had friends who would dance and they were like still in like late high school. They were like seniors in high school, and they'd be like, "Hey, you're really good at dancing, and we're good friends. Do you want to come show up everybody else at my JROTC thing?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" I got a fancy dress in my closet. And I never got questioned because I looked like I was, somewhere in high school. And then they're like, yeah, no one's allowed to be here over 21. I was like, oh shit, better not.
Just hide the flask.
I'd be like, oh man, I'll just say I'm 15. I don't have a driver's license or learner's permit. And they bought it. They bought it. So that was fun.
Kids, don't do this. Or adults, chat, just don't.
Don't let your children do this when they're in high school. Whatever.
It's fine. The parents of the kids I went with loved me. And so they're like, yeah, go dance with them. I was like, okay.
I had the opportunity to go to prom, but ended up not going because this is going to sound so depressing, but I had no friends in high school. I was just like acquaintances with a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my closest acquaintances kind of like were behind my back, so I ended up not going.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, screw them. Then
screw them.
They didn't serve you anyway. You're too amazing.
Yeah, it's fine.
So aside from living out high school esqueness that I never got to experience through Monster Prom, also Teenagers from Outer Space yesterday, which takes place as in Aces High, and I'm a teenager, and we had a battle of the bands. And we're the cool kids in school because it makes all of us nerds feel real good. And one of us was like terrified of the band kids, and so we had a duel against the band kids, and we actually won. I was real scared we were gonna lose, but we actually won, and it was super fun. And the rest of this week's kind of a blur. It was just a lot of graphic design work.
Call of Cthulhu.
Yes, I kind of killed 2 people on Call of Cthulhu this past week.
Excuse?
Yeah. Well,
when you only have 12 HP, like between 8, average between 8 to 13 HP, you're pretty, and I think it's for 1d6. It happens.
We're fucked. We're super fucked.
But one of them came back due to a time slip and a successful luck check. The other one's dead, and I'm working with him on his character for Tuesday.
Rip.
And then I had a session 0 for Cult this week, Cult Divinity Lost, which I'm looking forward to. It should be fun. Pruitt and I are playing horrible characters, so we're excited about that. And I did some gardening today. Got a little sunburn in the 0 sun that was there.
Boo, sunburn.
It's super cute. I'm gonna share pictures once like everything's more than just this tall.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's gonna be so awesome. I have quite the patio garden. Got like 12 things out there.
I have Yep, I don't grow stuff. Because I would kill it.
That's what I did in Florida, and then I moved up, I'm up here, and it's worked. I haven't killed anything yet, really.
Victory! Oh gosh, what did I do this week? I played Prey on Wednesday, which is like fun. I enjoy the game, but there's no rhythm to it. There's no point where it's like, you have completed chapter 8 of Prey, or like, you have successfully hit this major milestone in the story. There's no sense of like how far along I am. It's real
Is it like
weird.
An open world thing, or?
Yeah, it's very much like it reminds me a lot of BioShock in how it plays. But BioShock I still felt was like very clear in its pacing.
It was more linear.
Yeah, well, and it had, I think because it relied a lot on unfolding plot twists, right? Like, you went into it knowing absolutely nothing about the setting, and then you very slowly learned bits about the setting, and each location that you went to had a story going on in it. Like, each section of Rapture had its own story, so when you reached the end of it, you were like, I feel like I have succeeded in doing a thing because I've gone through an arc.
Some sort of indicator of success or advancement.
Yeah, whereas in Prey, I'm just sort of like, and now I am leaving this zone after spending a period of time in it. I don't think I'm coming back, but maybe I will. Like, it's so unclear, and like, I really love the gameplay. The world building is super cool, and the story is interesting, but I'm like 15 hours into it now, and I'm just having a hard time like latching onto it still. Which is rough because of how much I enjoy everything else about it. Like, I think if I weren't streaming it, it would be fine because I would just binge it a bunch, right? And it would just be like, shut off my brain, play Prey for a couple hours, go to bed, something like that. But since I'm streaming it, it's different, I think. It's harder to play those less directed games on stream, for me at least. So that's been interesting to like pull apart and figure out like why my brain feels like mush at the end of streaming that game and that sort of stuff. But other than that, I did a bunch of editing, and yesterday we had the first episode of season 2 of Fun Shots, where we played the Song of the Fugitive adaptation of A Fall of Magic, with myself, Janaya, who was facilitating, Jim Ryan, other doc, and Catherine Lynn, who it was her first time playing a role-playing game on stream, and she fucking killed it. Jesus Christ.
She's amazing, isn't she?
She's so good!
I told you.
Yeah. And she's like, this is my second time playing a role-playing game, my first time streaming. I don't know. Thanks for putting up with me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're great!
Awesome.
When I went to LA for my voice gig that cannot be named due to NDA purposes, sorry, I hang out with her whenever I go out there, and we play tested my weird little anime RPG that I'm making. Her, me, and another friend of ours, GeoNerd, over on the Twitters. She fucking killed it. She's like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I have never roleplayed. And no, she's like amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, I literally cannot comprehend where that comes from. She's great. She should be on every show forever.
Theater nerd kind of stuff, I think.
I get why she's good at it. I don't get why she doesn't think she's good at it.
I don't get that either.
It was also my first time playing a role-playing game with other doc. And he, like, right out the gate in his first turn in Fall of Magic was like, yes, we come in on the summoning of this elemental of memory, and that is the character I am playing. And I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. That's so awesome.
That's dope.
It was amazing. Yeah, so TLDR, I had the most fun game of Fall of Magic I've ever played last night. And yeah, I'm very excited that we got Fall of Magic, or not Fall of Magic, got Fun Shots rolling with season 2. I'm super stoked for the games that are coming up.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good. And yeah, so it's been a good week. It's been a good week of good games, and I am very excited to get into this particular good game, because last week, if you missed it, some shit happened. So you may notice that Ari's portrait here, one, the camera is empty because Summer is away on maternity leave, but also the portrait here is gray. Ari got,
because he's dead.
Basically, he got real stabbed last week.
Dead.
Yeah, I have to say that he's dead. I promised, so I can't not say it.
Hachiro managed to get Honoka to apply the medicine to the poor stabbed boy and keep him alive, while Kai was falsely accused of Ari's murder. Hachiro discovered, or rather, Ambassador Kikido revealed that Ari had been poisoning Hachiro by way of Honoka, which Hachiro revealed to Honoka, and struggled briefly over whether it was right to let him live or not. But in the end, he and Honoka decided to keep him alive, hopefully help him recover, but also to keep the truth of his survival hidden, as there's still suspicion that somebody in the palace tried to kill Ari and may attempt to finish the job if it is known that he isn't dead. And so they're trying to keep him alive so that they can get the truth out of him eventually if and when he wakes up. Kai was thrown in prison. People were real mean to him about it. He did not respond super well to that. He had some choice words for Elias, threatening to kill him, some choice words and spittle for Cipriano, and an enlightening conversation with Migi, I think, where Migi offered to try and break him out. And when Kai was like, yo, dude, you just end up in jail too, Migi was like, only if they found out it was me. So I feel like we learned something about Migi in that scene.
Be gay, do crimes?
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Let's see. Honoka found or revealed that the weapon that was assumed to have been used on Ari was incongruous to the wound that actually felled him, that Ari was taken out by a sword and not by the dagger that everybody had accused Kai of wielding. And Migi found, by interviewing sort of the staff in the castle, that Kai had been asleep at the time of the attack. So that also sort of puts a hole in the theory that Kai had attacked Ari. And so Kai was freed from incarceration and met up with Honoka, not knowing that she had spent the entire day struggling to keep Ari alive. The two of them went into the City of Storms, to a tavern known as the Eye of the Storm, to sort of drink and eat away their sorrows, their trials, their tribulations. And yeah, I think that pretty much... Ooh, wait, no. Migi, after Kai was freed, went and sat down in Kai's jail cell, said some very creepy things about Kai's pain and how delicious it was. And while meditating, made contact with another person that we know very little about so far, by the name of Rashida, who offered to help guide Migi through the castle to see what strange things they can learn from the spirits there. So, that is everything that happened. Today, I will not be playing the trash boy Buraya. I will be playing the strong boy Sanson. My Kurenai Ryu. His artifact is the longbow, and the benediction I took today is the Tale of the Hero, which, if I remember correctly, is the don't get fucked up one. Allows a mortally wounded PC to cheat death. If this benediction is used when a PC would have died, the HP of all party members is immediately restored to full. This can be done only once per session. So, today we come in on episode 5, Death's Gentle Whisper. I hope you're paying attention, because I won't be going over this again. No good soul backs down in the face of injustice. When you live with your heart held by the people around you, you feel the crushing weight of their abuse as a vice, and honor makes your choices for you. For some, the fire of love burns higher in the cold, so those who remain may be warmer still. Honoka pulls her coat to cover part of her face, protecting herself from the chill wind that blows around her and Kai as they depart from the eye of the storm and begin walking back to the palace of Akvan. What do you do?
Okay, good, I'm not muted. Alright. I swore I was, and I was like, oh no! Alright.
Mute!
Oh no! Alright, so, yeah, Honoka will have her little coat around. Kai!
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Good enough, all things considered.
You just seem a little upset is all. I didn't want to bring it up in front of everybody inside the tavern.
Appreciate that.
It didn't seem like a wise thing.
He kind of casts a glance back.
Though they are very friendly and seem quite fond of you, I thought it might not be the best time and place.
Yeah, they're all right. And I'm all right. Just been a rough day.
You were jailed.
I've dealt with worse. Jail's nothing, it's just boring.
I wouldn't know, I've never been in jail.
That's good, actually.
I assume so. You just seemed not quite bored, jail upset. That's all.
I just have some things to think about, that's all.
Well, if you ever need to talk it out or lay all your cards on the table, just let me know.
I need a moment.
Lay it all out.
Ah, those Easter eggs. For fans of the original show.
It's a spring thing. Lamp's a spring baby.
Look, I appreciate the concern, but you've got some concerns of your own, I think, yeah?
No, I'm a very unconcerned individual. In fact, things took a bit of an upturn today. I got the right, I think I figured out the right concoctions of medicines that for a problem I was working on, and everything's just sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows.
There's a sneaking suspicion she's not being honest.
Would you like to roll a perception check?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious that Honoka's under some stress.
Yeah.
Everything's great. Just had a busy day at work is all. The herbs to grind up, it's the daily grind.
Right. He just kind of nods, but I think he sort of stops and has to lean down a bit to actually look at her. because he's real tall.
Mm-hmm.
How's your prince doing?
She kind of, you can definitely see some flash of emotion across her face of like, panic, just kidding, it's fine. Oh, well, he had a bit of a rough day as well, but I really think he's gonna be on an upswing after this. Like, I figured out some, like, a herbal blend. I'm gonna have to go out in the morning to harvest some of them, I think, but I think everything's, it's been a long day, but he's doing better, I think.
Okay, good. Because that smile looked pretty fake. And I know it's your job and all, but it seems like a job you enjoy a lot.
Oh, I do. I love plants and gardening and making medicines. It's been very strange since we've gotten up here. You know, just things keep happening. People get injured.
Yeah.
Meetings. It's been a lot.
Yeah, it is. That's a way to put it.
I'm not really used to all the political side of things, so that's a bit new for me. It's all backstabby, secret, all this. It seems so unnecessary.
It's disgusting.
That too. Just very unnecessary.
Yeah, well, at least we agree on that.
Yeah. Just well, at least, you know, we both dislike that, so we can just
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be sticking around.
No? I think the meetings are supposed to be going on for a bit longer, unless something happened after you got out of prison.
No, it's not that. I don't have a reason to stick around anymore.
What kept you here originally?
Well, I left home looking for a friend and tried real hard to find him. Kinda ended up here after a lot. But he's not here anymore.
Can I draw an insight check?
Please roll perception.
Okay.
Let's perceive all the things that are not being said.
Would it be perception or sense for like a social thing?
I've been using
perception. Is like seeing hidden things. Sense, I think, is more intuition. So that actually might.
I've been using sense for more like magic-y, spirity stuff. But a 12 is real good.
Mm-hmm.
I think a 12 works here for you to see that, like, obviously Kai didn't just like try to find someone and then the trail went cold and gave up.
Do I think it's Ari? Because I know he was accused of the murder.
I think you'd have to be a real big idiot to not put those dots, not connect those dots.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Also, like, they were on that journey into the swamps and stuff, and I'm pretty sure she got a good sense of seeing how they were interacting with each other and seeing what was occurring in that battle.
Very strange.
Because, yeah, Kai was absolutely trying to protect his house.
Yeah. Kai was also like, don't worry, I'll protect you. And she's like, okay. So I think she's a tad oblivious to some things, but I think she's picked up on this one finally. Like, she just kind of put her hand on your arm. Everything's gonna be okay. It just takes some time.
He looks a little puzzled by that statement.
Time heals all wounds.
Yeah, I guess. Well, Nothing's gonna heal as long as I'm standing around in this place. Besides, after all of that courtroom drama, I don't know if anyone's gonna trust me anyway.
Well, I trust you.
You are really sweet. But you might be one of the only ones.
Well, you're not alone. So, if you need to hang out, or if someone's being mean to you or bullying you, just let me know and I'll have some strong words for them.
Duly noted. I'll make sure to let you know so you
Give
can
me a
come to
list.
my defense.
Fine. Handle it.
Thanks. Really.
Anytime.
But I don't know, I just have a lot to think about.
All right. Well,
politics isn't really my game, you know?
It's not either. If you need to just bounce some ideas off of somebody, I'm here. I don't have many theories about things, but some people are very suspicious.
It's just annoying. Nobody can be direct about anything.
It's very confusing.
I don't get it. They talk, but they're not saying what they actually want.
If they just put all their cards on the table, it would just be so much simpler and faster. Well, I'm half tempted to do some investigating into all this stuff myself, just because they didn't even know that Akvan had kids.
Wait, what?
Oh, you weren't there. Oh, so Miki and I went down to the library to look for history because, the amulet thing that had the symbol, and apparently Akvan had 3 children. One of them's a baby, if they're around still, but the other 2 would be teenagers.
Huh. Okay.
Also, did you know about the amulet? Miki found a cursed amulet when you went, and I found it too, when you were chasing after that mysterious cloaked hooded figure in the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did some investigating. It had Akvan's symbol on it, and he's got 3 kids, and 2 of them are teenagers. There's a prince and a princess, well, former prince and princess, I guess now, and and they might be Oni.
Wait, what?
Yep. It's a possibility. It's not confirmed because we haven't seen them.
Okay, but
it's a theory. It's some research.
Well, there's an alley cat that's just yelling, apparently.
It's one of Akvan's 3 kittens.
He also had 3 kittens.
He did. 1 for each child. Bonded for life.
They're very bad tempered, though.
Did you not know that Oni are cat people? It's a thing. Something about spirits. I don't know.
They're cat people, as in they like cats, or they're cat people.
As in they like cats. They have horns, but they like kittens.
God. So rewinding from all of that.
And they might be.
The unofficial 5th cast member. Percival.
Yes, the unofficial Percy, who has many things to say about Akvan, apparently.
Many.
As do we.
He has
opinions. Like Oni. No.
Yeah, he has opinions and theories.
So, I think they might be responsible for some shenanigans that have been happening.
Well, if they're Akvan's children, obviously they're going to want a gun for getting this place back. You would think, right?
Most likely that, and disrupting the council in any way they can. Causing problems at the meetings.
Well, that's...
revenge! That's might be a good one.
Yeah, that changes things a little.
Does?
Where did you say you found all this? The library?
Yeah, I could show it to you. It's a lot of scrolls. It's in the basement.
Okay. Yeah.
You gotta keep paper in a cool, dry place. So.
You do? Okay.
Well, if you don't want it to get moldy or have the ink go bad or get
right,
things
sure,
to eat
I
the
guess.
spines of the books. Mice like to eat glue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Don't keep
right,
books in a shed. Mice will eat them.
I'll take your word for it. I don't use paper that much.
Oh.
Would you mind showing me the library?
Would you like to see it tonight? It's getting a little late, or I could show you.
No, tomorrow. Yeah. I imagine I'm gonna have plenty of time.
Sure thing. I'll as soon as I'm done gathering herbs. Day.
Right. Well, I should get you home.
I think we're walking to the same place. So
they've probably been walking this whole time and maybe are like
I think this
hitting
is like
the courtyard of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as these two erstwhile heroes walk into the front doors of Akvan's palace, the first flake of snow falls from the sky.
I just imagine Miki crouched up on one of the towers like a gargoyle watching from inside.
She jumps off in her freaking robe, just goes
parachute.
The Batman theme plays. Migi's just Batman. We cut actually to Migi the following morning. Migi swings her legs out of bed as Rashida's words from the night before echo in her memory. A powerful enchantment of death resides somewhere within this palace. Find it, and perhaps its power could be yours. Migi, what do you do in the morning? And can I get a condition check from you?
Yeah.
A 6, okay.
I think Migi wakes up kind of like sweaty, kind of like I think she's been having dreams about this like meditation that she had in the meeting with Rashida when she gets up, and she's tired. I don't think she slept for very long. So when Migi was with Rashida, was that like that was in a spiritual sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, they weren't physically together.
Correct.
Yeah. Just to sort of like rewind, would Rashida have implied that the knowledge was physically in the palace or spiritually in the palace?
That there is physically an enchantment of death somewhere.
Okay.
In the palace walls.
Would, going back into Migi's memory, would there be any suspicious looking rooms in that architectural drawing of the palace?
Go ahead and roll a direction check.
Sure.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Right.
There's certainly a lot of secret rooms. And secret passageways. I think it's more passageways than like hidden chambers. So I don't think there's a location where you're like, if I were to hide a death curse somewhere, it would be right here. Okay. Which in a sense still tells you something, right? Like whatever this thing is, it's probably hidden in plain sight somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Rashida didn't give me anything else.
No, that's all she could find. The enchantment was so powerful that, sort of like trying to use a metal detector, if you've got too much of a thing, it makes narrowing it down to a specific proximity pretty difficult.
Right. Okay. Are there prisoners from the previous regime?
Ooh. This is the sort of question I would love to ask Jess, but she had to step away. So I'm gonna take some authority here and say no.
No prisoners. Damn.
Yeah, anyone who was in a position of power either immediately abdicated and made themselves scarce when Akvan's armies were destroyed, or they stuck around and weren't super interested in being taken as prisoners, and so were executed by the Summer Kingdom when they arrived.
Who could I talk to
about?
I want to find this death curse. Who would have whispers of this?
Well, the person who's been here the longest is Merchant Prince Cipriano Mata.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go look for that prince.
Okay. So we see you get up and get ready for the day, and snow has started to pile up outside your window on the sort of windowsill there. And as you head out, Cipriano and the other heads of delegation are gathered outside the front entrance, standing respectfully to the side as a procession of Winterlanders carry a shrouded body out the front. And we are at the top of an hour, so we are going to step away to our first break, and when we come back, we will see what the situation is with this funeral procession. See you soon.
Oh, boy.
Hello and welcome back to Legends of Mahōrea. The final hour, we're going to take a shorter episode this week. But where we left off, as Migi left her chambers, and we saw the funeral procession outside the front gates. Kai, where are you? Are you outside with the Summerlanders, or are you inside watching from a window? Are you avoiding the whole situation?
Procession is the thing.
It is ostensibly Ari's body, wrapped and shrouded as it is being carried out to be sent back home to the Winterlands.
I don't think he's there with the rest. If he's looking on, it's definitely from a window, maybe from his room if he still has it. I think we sort of see him watching that go by for a moment, and then he goes back into his room, where I think Atta is probably curled up on the bed, taking a snooze. He gives her just a little bit of a pat, and he is slowly packing up his belongings.
Could you roll me a condition check real quick, please?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
See how much chutzpah
There we go.
Kai has today. An amount. A human amount, but
normal.
Instead of his usual superhuman.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I got last time too. Wow.
Hey.
Pretty close, rather.
So yeah, looking at the window, you see pretty much the entire winter delegation is out there in this like half foot of snow that fell overnight. And you see several people, several Percys knocking things over.
This was Tristan's fault today.
Oh. You see
this is the criminal.
A handful of delegates carrying this white wrapped humanoid form, one of which you actually, as you sort of think about it, looks kind of similar to Ari. Not the same, obviously, but as you look at him, and Ari's face seems sort of burned into your mind these days, you can see a familiar resemblance to this younger man who is at the front of the procession, carrying Ari's body toward the cart. And as well, each of the leaders of the other delegations, Cipriano, Hachiro, and Gikido, are all sort of arrayed in a line to give their respects in this trying time. But Elias, who is there and is making sort of a show of everything, like another person, say one of the 3 other heads of delegation who are down there, may think that Elias is just being a bit gaudy for the occasion. You, being suspicious as you are of this individual, get a sense that he's gloating almost in his disrespect. And I think Honoka, as you come out in the morning, first can I get your herb check to see if you managed to get anything today? Target number of 11, if I remember correctly.
Herb gathering. Yeah, let's see. Whoop. 8.
No, not today. And then
it'd be 9 because I have boots, but yeah, not enough.
Your condition check.
All right. Condition check. I know where that is on the sheet. There it is. Huh. Hey.
All right. Go ahead and boost a stat.
Sweet. I'll just boost spirit again. Yeah.
And as Honoka comes into the hallway and sees you, Kai, what look do you have on your face?
I don't think there's much of one to read. He looks distracted at best. After sort of shutting the door to his room, probably Atta is awake and at his heels now. But he's basically just packed up his stuff, and it is ready to go whenever he is ready to pick up and go. And he's just sort of distant. Well, I don't think he even really notices Honoka, actually, at first.
So, Honoka, what do you do?
Mm-hmm. Did I check on Ari this morning?
Yeah. Roll a healing check for me.
Okay.
Let's see
how another funeral.
See how his condition is.
Yeah, I'm gonna concentrate on that. This seems important.
Some reason.
Healing check. All right.
Is it gonna be a fumble?
Oh, I finally
know. Fumble. So when you
I was so concerned I had to do better than yesterday. I didn't even concentrate. That's one more. I didn't put my concentration in.
Yeah. So that would be an 18. Jesus Christ. When you refreshed the dressings on his wound, when you left him last night, you were like, I've done all I can.
It's a coin toss.
And you were really hoping that that infection wouldn't set in, but you couldn't be necessarily sure, depending on the weapon used, etc., etc. But when you checked this morning, his wound's gonna need some time. The stitches are necessary, but it looks like
he's
clean of infection for now. Any unconsciousness that he's still in is presumably the result of shock.
Okay. She'd definitely be giving him tea and stuff too to help him sleep and stay unconscious, because there's a funeral going on for him outside, and she doesn't know whose body that is, but she knows it ain't Ari's.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of just gonna be like, mental note, ask Hachiro about that later. So she'll kind of just seeing Kai in the hallway and just kind of like zoned out and be like, eyesight, window, funeral, okay. She'll be like, oh, good morning, are you ready to go check out those records?
All right, yes, of course.
All right. I made us some tea to bring down, because, might be down there a while, so she'll have like a little teapot.
Oh, sure. He sort of just absently puts a hand against his flask. Good thinking, in case we get thirsty.
We might get thirsty. A lot of dust down there. They don't think they clean it regularly.
Yeah. Well, let's not get caught up in trying to clean it for them.
Of course not. Who would do that? Let's go. And she will lead the way down to the.
I think, Kai, you recall some remarks from your trial about Ari perhaps poisoning one spring prince.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he knows about that.
Okay. And I think as the two of you head down, you encounter Migi. As she's coming out of her chambers and headed sort of toward the direction of activity.
Good morning, Migi.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
My condolences.
Thanks.
Were you watching the procession, or?
No. No reason. It's just a body.
Sure, just a body. Where are you two off to?
The
library.
Oh, the library. And what would you be looking for at the library?
Just a little light reading to kill some time. Heard you two found some interesting information about Akvan.
Oh yes, the children.
Yeah.
Yep, 3 of them. One of them's a baby. And they might be Oni, but we're not sure. We haven't found official things to verify that, but it's definitely a possibility. So we're just gonna go see if we can dig up any other interesting, I think dirt is the word. Dig up some dirt on what's going on here.
Right. Honestly, I'm just curious about it, and I'm shit at reading, so I figure she's going to be helpful in that respect.
Right. Well, I don't want to keep you. But Kai, if you have a moment.
Sure.
Now or
we'll just
later.
Kind of he gives Atta a little bit of a pat and just leans down and is like, you watch after Honoka, all right?
I'll just walk real slowly down the hallway so you can catch up.
It'll only be a minute.
And Atta will follow after Honoka, behaving herself. Hopefully there's no Fuji to smell.
Oh, Fuji's definitely in her pockets.
Yeah.
Atta is glued to Honoka.
Yeah. Atta's like...
But Honoka probably has dog treats with her this time. She probably snuck a bone and be like...
Throws a treat, lets the bunny out.
Look, you two can be friends. Give a little seed for Fuji. A bone for you.
Ata is very loyal and well-behaved and clever, and she will not eat a rabbit unless Kai tells her to. Hopefully. So yeah,
so
Kai
I think we like we hang back, and and Migi looks around to see if anyone else is in this like hallway, and then we sort of like, I guess she would sort of lean closer to the wall, in sort of like an alcove.
So and what is it?
And then her eye would just sort of like flick up at you and look at you. So they let you out.
Yeah, thanks to her. His eyes kind of go further ahead up the hall to where Honoka is walking away.
I told you weren't the type.
Well, I knew I didn't do it.
Seems stupid of the Winter Prince to let you go.
I don't think it was something he would have done.
No, I don't think so either.
What are you getting at?
You said something interesting to me yesterday. About a certain feeling that you had towards him, something that you wanted to accomplish.
You mean that I want to kill him at the first opportunity?
Yes, that.
Still there.
Well, I have a way that you can get to him. Undetected.
Do you?
Yes.
What's your stake in it? What do you get out of helping me?
You deserve it.
Okay. That's awful generous of you for someone who barely knows me, except maybe by reputation.
And I just want to see what will happen. These negotiations seem to be moving in a direction that, if the Winter Kingdom plays their cards the way that I imagine they will try to, will turn out advantageous for them. And I'm not going to let that happen.
So as long as it falls in the favor of the Autumn Kingdoms?
Not at all.
Really?
Yes, we're simply here as an agent of balance to ensure that everyone gets their fair share in this.
Well, let's see. I don't know shit about politics, but if I had to take a wild guess, if the prince goes down, that causes havoc amongst the Winter faction. I shouldn't stick around, which doesn't really make a fucking difference to the Summer faction, let's be honest. But it's still a disturbance. And they've already lost Sindo as well. It's gonna start looking pretty empty around here.
Indeed.
So, what's this balance you're looking for?
I imagine a little chaos will give the other kingdoms an upper hand. From what I understand, there's been some internal conflict. And since you've been absolved, you may be able to cast some doubt amongst the rest of the Winter Kingdom.
As tempting as that offer is, I'm not interested in being anyone's pawn anymore. I think I'll have to pass. Thank you for your consideration. And he very gently brushes her to one side and starts walking to catch up to Honoka.
Meanwhile, Honoka, as you walk ahead to the...
Walk slow. Like, we get around the corner to give them privacy, and then she's like, right, here's a boat. Leisurely stroll. She's concerned about him getting lost. She knows she's really good with directions, but...
I mean... They're not wrong.
As you're very casually strolling, you see a woman walking toward you, and you can't quite place her attire. It doesn't. You haven't seen her in any of the delegations, and she's not really wearing serving clothes. But as she walks past, she actually stops and says,
"Oh, I definitely say, because I'm trying to just kill time and catch up. Hello."
"Oh, hello. Excuse me, I'm a little lost."
"Oh, well, I haven't been here long, but I think I know my way around fairly well. My name's Honoka. What's yours?"
She smiles when you reach out a hand and holds it, and as she does, you feel your heartbeat, and it's like you can feel your blood pressure rise in that moment where like you feel your heartbeat through your whole body, and your palms are instantly sweaty.
Like, it's a crush, or am I intimidated? I don't...
And she says, "I'm looking for the apartments of the spring delegation."
The apartments of the spring delegation. Well, currently, most of the members of the spring delegation are outside for the funeral that's going on. So I would, if you're trying to meet up with anyone, I would check there first. But they're in that direction. She's trying not to be like specific, because she gets weird vibes from this lady.
Yeah, she smiles and raises your hand to her lips and gives them a small kiss, and a chill runs down your spine. She says, "Thank you."
"No problem. Sorry I couldn't be more specific."
She starts to walk away, and you hear... You think it's your own voice, right? You think it's the voice in your head, but it sounds like her voice. Say, "When was the last time you checked on Hachiro?"
I think Honoka would just kind of pause, turn, and alter course.
Yeah, you don't see her when you turn, and you are filled with this cold sense of dread.
Can I feel out for weird magic stuff? She rubbed me the
go
wrong
ahead and roll
way.
a sense check.
How's Atta doing?
Atta
Did she pick up some weird fucking vibes?
Atta is growling, but is not abandoning Honoka. Honoka,
13.
You're pretty sure you're having a panic attack right now.
Okay, this is fine. Everything's fine.
Which, I mean, given how your morning has gone, which is to say, honestly, pretty well, you're not entirely sure where that's coming from.
Yep, it's gotta be this weird lady. Yeah.
And Kai, you abandon your conversation with Migi, and you see a familiar figure walking one way down the hall, and then out of sight, and then the other way you see Honoka, who is looking very nervous, and Atta, who is growling.
Yeah, he's going to glance in the direction of that figure, but Honoka seems to need attention a bit more. So I think he'll head over to where she is and kind of catch her on the shoulder. Hey.
Oh, hi.
Oh, you all right?
Yes, I'm having a small panic attack, but don't worry. It's fine. It's nothing I haven't handled before. Did you see a very oddly dressed lady?
Headed that way?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looked a little bit like the figure that I chased before.
I got some very strange vibes from her.
He just snaps.
Yeah, and Otta goes running.
She wanted to know where the spring delegation quarters is, and I haven't checked on Hachiro this morning, so I think we should probably do that before going down to the library to see.
Yes, right. Let's go.
Okay, go. Okay.
He's gonna trust his dog to do what she's trained to do, and hopefully catch and bite something. But he's gonna go with Honoka. I imagine they're probably gonna do a real ground eating pace to get back up to those rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, she power panic walking. She panic power walk.
Kai will break into a run and straight up carry her if he has to.
So the two of you are headed towards the main entrance while Atta follows the scent. Okay, so Migi, you finish having this conversation with Kai. Kai leaves, and then a short moment later, you see him running down the stairs, potentially carrying Honoka.
Yeah. I think Migi looks around this corner of this alcove and sees this happen, and then
and you see Atta, you see the dog run off too.
Strange. And they're running in different directions. I'm following the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you follow at a brisk pace? Do you just sort of walk?
Float?
Yeah. Migi will just walk.
Okay.
In her creepy way.
So you're walking, and you hear Atta start barking, and then there's a sort of pained cry from Atta, and then you hear a slamming sound.
Hello?
A voice from right next to your ear says, "Hello."
Hello.
And the woman that we saw speaking with Honoka is standing directly behind you. You feel the sharp point of a dagger in your back.
Oh.
And she just sort of leans her head over your shoulder and puts her cheek next to yours, and you feel this chill run down your spine like an ice cube drop down your back. Would you mind leading me to the spring delegation?
So friendly so quickly. Why?
I have a present for someone.
And who would it be for?
Oh. You'll find out soon enough. Come, Migi. Which way?
Yeah, okay. I think Migi starts walking.
Okay.
Certainly.
And I think we're gonna cut over to Honoka and Kai as you burst out the front door of the palace. The cart carrying Ari's body has left the courtyard, and people are sort of gathering to head back inside when you burst out through the door.
Yep.
Everyone looks very surprised.
We're headed to check on where Hachiro is, right?
Yep.
All right. If the delegation is in sight, he's just gonna plunk Honoka back down. Very carefully.
Yeah, I think both Hachiro and Cipriano come sort of rushing forward, and Hachiro's like, "Is everything okay?" And
everything's fine.
There's an intruder in the castle.
There's a very suspicious individual who is inquiring as to where spring quarters were, and I hadn't seen you out this morning really, so I figured I should come check in on you. So you're okay, but there's someone very suspicious.
I think it was the same intruder that I failed to apprehend the first night.
And you may have dropped the cursed amulet that had, what's Akvan symbols. That person.
General?
Yes.
Please mobilize your men to make a sweep of the palace. And he turns to Elias and Gikiro. My apologies, but please maintain the perimeter. No one out? And he looks at Elias. Or in. He looks back at you.
Sir. And he's gonna take off and go start barking orders to every Summerlander soldier that he's got.
Yeah. Upstairs, Migi.
I think, Honoka's gonna be like, we should go to the herbalist chambers first, I think. Like, I gotta keep an eye on you and Ari.
I think, Honoka, you make a move to go in, and Cipriano, holds up a hand. And then looks past at Kai. Do we let her in, or... we're not letting anyone in or out?
Of course, she's fine. She's trusted.
He nods. And the two of you rush in. Migi... I'm
just gonna get some important things from the spring quarters in case they get there.
Are you leading this person toward...
I think Migi would take a long way around.
Okay, so
and just walking at a casual pace, we were like, Kaneko's like...
So you're meandering, and we hear, as you're maybe a quarter of the way there, we hear shouting from downstairs.
Would that be for you?
Well, I had hoped it would have taken Honoka longer.
I think Migi, under her breath, says, "Sorrow, grant your cold embrace, Itome tears," and tries to cast Itome tears on this person behind her to make them start weeping.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and
magic check.
Roll your magic check.
I hope it works.
Be dark magic, activate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah!
Holy shit!
Okay. So tears start streaming from her eyes, right?
Yeah, and the moment
obscuring
I
her
hear
vision.
a whimper or something, I'm gonna turn around to see who this person is and take a step back.
Cries forever.
Yeah, she's gonna. So did that give her a -1 on accuracy?
-2.
-2. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to pull.
And
up
she
her...
weeping.
She weeping. I need to go pull up the other campaign.
Summer.
Her high school BF just fucking left her on alone tears. Oof.
What did Summer say?
Summer said her high school BF just fucking left her at prom alone tears. Okay. I think that beats her. Yeah, it's critical success, so her condition doesn't matter. She's going to try and attack you with this dagger.
Okay.
as she like
the med ward if you need
sobs and swears through these tears. All right, roll Dex int to dodge. Oh my god!
Yes.
Miggy!
Yeah, so she swings wildly with this dagger, trying to
live
push
it off her sorrow.
The tears out of her eyes. Fucking witches.
I think Miggy just like cackles, like, is that the best you've got? And like her as she jumps backwards, like her robes all kind of fly upwards, and then like she lands gracefully like a few steps backwards.
And she looks at you and just says, fear. And you feel your entire body just sort of seize, and her voice sort of morphs into your mother's voice.
Oh no.
As she says, don't forget this moment. Don't forget my name. Varun. And she's gone.
She's crying somewhere else now.
And 2 Summerland soldiers like burst out of a stairwell next to you.
I think Miggy like also has like a tear that she like very briskly tries to like wipe away. She disappeared. I don't know where she went.
Yeah, they'll be like, stay with us. We're gonna move through. But they want to keep you where they know where you are instead of being like, go to a random place where you'll get lost. And then, Kai, do you stick with Honoka, or do you just sort of let her run off on her own, knowing that this person is loose somewhere in the palace?
I think. Well, it depends on what seems more concerning. It sounds like Hachiro might be in some vague kind of danger, or the chambers might be in some vague kind of danger. And he has sent Atta off to follow this thing. I imagine it takes a few minutes to get the guards in order, so he probably was doing that and then followed after Honoka.
Okay.
So Honoka had a couple minutes ahead.
Yeah, to guard her.
Yeah. Okay, then Honoka, you can rush into the infirmary.
Yeah.
And like the large walk-in closet where you've put Ari's
her room.
Body. Yeah.
It's her room. But she was sleeping in the closet, but now it's like, this is my room. See my cot in the corner.
Yeah.
But so she definitely checks in her closet. She's like, and she wants to case this intruder's here. And also, it's like, this is probably good to do just anyway. She's gonna tie a thread to like the handle and like to something else, so that way if it's opened, the door is opened or closed without her knowing, she'll be able to find out. So she wants to do that, and then like real quick before Kai gets there, and then just be like, all right, good. And then she's probably just finished with that and is getting ready to check on the prince's quarters, because she knows he's okay. She's gonna check his room next.
Yeah, I think the door opens as you finish tying that thread and getting that situated, and it's Kai.
Everything okay in here?
Yep, just did a check. Nothing amiss. Nothing. No one's messed with the medicine or anything. I just secured a couple of more hard to get supplies. Should probably check the prince's room next.
Right, of course. He'll step aside so that she can go in that direction. And they will go into that room.
Okay. So you walk into Hachiro's chambers, and they're as you left them, Honoka.
Okay. Good. They seem that she's just gonna check under the bed. Like, she saw about how tall this lady was. She's bed, closet, bottom drawer. She's just gonna make sure she ain't hiding in there. After giving a thorough sweep, well, it looks like the mysterious, creepy, spooky, very strange stranger has gotten here yet. I did give her extraordinarily vague direction. Oh.
Good.
Plot time.
All right, well, maybe lock down anything you want kept safe.
She'll kind of you see her go to the desk, like, grab some papers, shove it in a drawer, pull out the key, lock it. Like, she knows where his important stuff is. And, like,
tidying up, locking everything down.
Yeah. I imagine she has that level of trust with Hachiro. She's like, yep, nope, we just pull.
Yeah. Hachiro's room had a connecting door, like, to Honoka's, right? Weren't they adjacent or something like that?
I think they're on the same hall, but they're not. They're not directly.
Maybe connected. like a door down.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing more to do there, then I guess they leave.
Yeah.
Yes, we should look for this person.
Well, Atta's usually pretty good at catching anything I set her to, so just need to find her. We should head back to where that was.
Yep, everything here is secured.
Or maybe you should look after your prince, I guess.
Yeah, I think I should probably check in him now. She holds up the teapot. I have tea. I'm just gonna add a couple herbs to it real quick. She kind of just like puts like a sachet. She's made fresh new ones this morning.
Yes.
She triple checked the leaves.
Yes, I went specifically, and I didn't put anything that could resemble anything else in there.
It doesn't taste very good,
like poison.
Nothing that could be misconstrued. Then I added jasmine for flavor. It should help.
On your way out, you run into a pair of guards with Migi and Atta. General, we found both of them not far, and you see Atta has a little bit of a limp.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna crouch down and give her like a scratch and examine.
Do you want me to
she
look
have
at
like
it?
any blood like around her mouth? Like she bit someone maybe?
I was waiting to see if I could help Atta.
No, actually. She was locked in one of the chambers.
Well, good try, girl. All right. He gives her a good scratch and
do we need to bandage it? Like,
do you mind?
Oh, not at all, you poor thing.
He'll let Honoka do her medicine thing for the pupper.
Did you see a strange lady walking around causing all spoopy things? Being vague and creepy and not giving her name? It's just horrible.
If the intruder's still here, we can follow the sounds of pained sobbing.
Sounds of pained sobbing? What did you do to her?
Did you say mean things until she cried?
Something like that.
Okay, that's not comforting.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go take a look. I'll be back, hopefully.
I'll come with you.
All right.
What check can I do to heal Atta?
Roll I guess roll a healing check.
Okay. Poor puppy.
Roll to heal puppy.
14.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can patch her up good. She's got sort of like a lightly sprained leg, but is otherwise okay.
Give a little split.
You get the impression that she ran down this stranger, was surprised by a swift kick and a slammed door, but otherwise
mean
is
lady kick
not the worse for wear.
Oh, it's okay. Migi was meaner to the mean lady. Made her cry. Very nice, but she kicked you, so she deserved it.
Oh no, Atta's found a new best friend.
Yeah, I think Atta rolls over on her back and like.
Definitely.
Migi and Kai, you walk off. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't find her in the palace, but if you wanted to talk while you were walking.
Sure. I think they retrace steps to like where Kai last saw, and then from there, if Migi's gonna lead where she accosted this stranger.
Ooh, yeah. You can find her dagger though.
Cool.
Where she dropped it trying to fight.
Okay.
Trying to fight Migi.
I saw the registry for the children, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that name.
Honoka talked all about it. You couldn't not know.
The dagger is very familiar to you, Kai. Not only did you see it when you killed an assassin, but a similar blade was waved in front of your face just yesterday.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I think if he sees that up on the path, he's gonna trot over and scoop it up. Shit.
What is it?
Was this hers?
Yes.
He just kind of sticks it in his belt for now.
What is it?
That's the knife that got planted into Ari, to all reports.
Interesting.
Doesn't line up with the wounds, though. That's why they got me out.
She told me her name.
Did she?
Yes, it seems Akvan's children haven't left the city.
Of course not. All right. He kind of paces a handful of steps further up the hall and then kind of back again. Sort of, it's what he does when he's trying to work out a thought, is the impression that comes off, because he just can't not do something physical and think. And then just at some point finally just kind of pounds the wall. Shit. Well, so much for getting the fuck out of here. I should go report this to the prince.
Yes, I think you should.
Thank you for your wise counsel. Are you coming?
Yes, I'll be there in a moment.
Okay. He just starts walking like, all right, lady.
And as you were doing that, I think it occurred to Migi that, because she had a crazy night last night, but before the weirdness started, she had stolen some papers from Elias's bedroom and stuffed them into her robes, and so I think she fishes into her pocket to pull out those papers because she she's like, oh, stupid, like Migi.
Dummy.
And yeah, I think she wants to read them.
Okay. As Kai walks away, and leaves your view, and you pull out these papers, you hear a voice, your mother's voice. He doesn't believe you. Why should he?
You're not real.
No. Because you're real, right?
Stop it.
Silence.
I think her hands are trembling and she tries to read the papers.
The papers don't give you a whole lot more information than you already had.
Okay.
There's obviously the information that Elias passed on about the powerful artifact out in the swamps, and how to find it, etc. But mixed in, there are also some letters written by Anguya, who you know from the declarations was the woman that Akvan married, talking about how, she missed Akvan and hoped for his swift return, and her excitement at going out into the Summerlands and seeing the resplendent fortress of Ithrazaya on their next trip. But that is all you can glean from them. And I think we cut to some evening meetings.
Okay.
Starting with Migi, as you were called in to speak to Gakido. It's many hours later. It took quite some time to exhaustively clear the palace and find definitively that there was no one left that wasn't supposed to be there. But everyone's sort of settled back in now, and Gakido says, "Haven't seen you in a few nights."
I've been busy.
Well?
What do you want to know?
Anything that you have found.
The past king, Akvan.
Yes.
The intruder today was his daughter.
I had suspected that perhaps someone was trying to make things worse here. Suppose that is all we needed to hear.
I don't know what their stake would be in this, other than reclaiming their kingdom.
Is that not stake enough?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that Miki would share. I don't know if there's much else that she's really acquired. I still don't trust the Winter Prince.
Well, he's a young fool, but after his display today, I do not know how much worrying you must do, aside from his brushness. Ugh. They let their princess do too many things too young.
I suspect the person that murdered Lord Adamord may have been one and the same as this child of the Oni king.
Well, that is perhaps some information we wish to bury.
Oh?
If Elias can tell everyone that these Stormlanders, that this illegitimate heir is targeting him, is targeting his people, it will put him in a sympathetic light.
Or was he really?
He needs no more favors.
They were targeting the Spring Kingdom as well.
Were they? And you have proof of this?
She asked me to take her to the Spring Quarters.
All the more reason to say nothing.
What would you have me do tomorrow, tonight, if you need?
Find a way for this not to be a problem anymore. I don't know. Find them. Have these children killed. Whatever it takes.
Oh, just a murder.
Is that too much to ask?
Definitely not.
Well.
I'll do what I can.
He nods and dismisses you.
Yeah.
And we cut to Honoka. Your meetings with Hachiro have changed a little bit. His symptoms are improving rapidly.
That's good.
And he's pacing about his room. Thank you. I should have already thanked you for worrying.
You don't need to worry. Fine. Everything is gonna be okay.
I wish I believed that, but seems every day here puts more strain on the negotiations. It's
the silver lining to this is we found out that someone was doing very naughty things, and you're feeling a little better.
That's true. I actually went for a walk today.
Good. It's good. It increases circulation, and you should really stay hydrated.
Yes. He goes to his sideboard and pours a cup of wine. Instead of water. You see an untouched jug of water. He takes a sip and leans against the wall. I'm starting to think that we're just gonna have to give the Summer Kingdom what they want. It's not gonna look good if we push too hard.
No, I was very concerned about that, and, well, I say very. I was mildly concerned about the intruder that was in the castle today. She was inquiring as to where the spring delegation's quarters was. Something about a present, I think, which didn't strike me as the present-bearing type.
He takes a long sip.
Not very positive vibes from her. Like, Miki has some spookiness and the very spooky aesthetic, but I was getting the serious spooky vibes with none of the aesthetic. It was slightly
Do you think you could trust someone else with Ari's care?
If I needed to, as long as you know, he's doing much better today. No infection has set in. So, as he rests, I've been giving him sleeping draught. Make sure he gets rest. And stays quiet. By the way, who was that body that was at the funeral today? I was just a little confused as to how all that.
Some commoner from the town.
Who was already dead, right?
What? Yes, of course.
Oh, I just had to make sure. There's been some strange things going on.
I
Glass of water.
I would never.
I know you wouldn't. I didn't know who arranged for the body or how it got there. It was a little surprising that there was a funeral this morning.
I saw to it myself. His family was well paid.
That's nice. Funeral arrangements. Winter Kingdom's gonna be real surprised when that gets there.
In the morning, I would like your recommendation for someone to look after Ari.
Okay. Is my work not good enough?
No. Of course not. I'm just starting to think that maybe the Stormlands were a little dangerous for a court herbalist.
Oh, no, I'll be fine. I can take care of myself. You don't have to worry about me.
He walks up to you and puts a hand on each of your shoulders. Honoka, I mean it. If this person was trying to get... What if you'd been here?
What if you'd been here?
Honoka, I'm a prince. My entire life is danger.
So you're a much larger target?
You don't need to get hurt just because you're close to me.
So you want me to leave?
I want you to be safe. And I think as Honoka's struggling to find words, he leans in for a kiss. What does Honoka do?
I don't think she knows what to do. As she's like, he's telling me to go away! And like, stress, and then like, mixed signals. So, yeah, but she'll smooch, but she's real upset about it.
So I think we see this kiss, and we see like we get the very zoomed in view of Honoka's eyes as like they go wide with surprise, and then the tears, burst over. He pulls away. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be. Are you sure you want me to leave? Wow. I think she's gonna just take his glass of wine if you sit it down, take a sip, and then put it back down.
I wouldn't be able to do my job if something happened to you.
Okay. Okay. So, you want me to go back to the Rain Kingdom? Or just out of the palace for a while?
It would be safest if you went home.
But who's gonna take care of you?
I can take care of myself.
Well, it's gonna take me a couple days to pack up all my stuff, you know, because I just brought so much of it here with me.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start on that in the morning, I guess.
Of course, you must be tired. Today was a lot.
It was a lot, a whole lot that I wasn't expecting. I'm gonna go now, okay? She's just, I think she like runs into the doorway and then like, you know, straightens up. But I think once she closes the door, she just stands in the hall like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think we see Honoka standing on the other side of the door like, oh my god! And we see Hachiro, we get like a side shot of both of you as Hachiro is on the other side of the door with like just his hand hovering next to the door handle. And then we cut to the chambers of one merchant prince Cipriano Mata. And he looks up as Kai opens the door. Ah, General.
Sir? Totally professional. Impossible to read.
I owe you.
You were unable to apprehend the intruder.
Enough business, Kai. You are not an unreasonable man. I'm sure I could explain to you all the reasons that I had to trust the evidence before me, but excuses...
He takes the dagger and throws it onto the table between them. The intruder dropped this.
Akvan?
One of his children, apparently, as I hear it.
Which one?
I can't remember. Earlier in the evening, did Miggy give him the name?
I don't think
I did.
I don't think she gave you the name,
I just
but
said the daughter.
She's
daughter,
like, yeah.
But Hanukkah told you, like, you had a prince and his name was... So you could put it together. Yeah. Because Hanukkah blabbed everything she knew about all of it.
And
so between the two pieces,
his daughter.
Yeah.
There's so much. I'm like, wait, which is the meta that Jess knows and which is the shit that Kai would actually remember?
Yeah.
Right.
The daughter.
Wow. I'll deal with that in the morning. Kai, I have no excuses.
You have every excuse. You're a prince. You're not supposed to trust people.
Kai, when I took this job, and he stands up, and I think this is the first time he's, like, stood up during a meeting. Like, he usually just sort of lounges.
Uh-huh.
When I took this job, I told myself I was going to make things better. I said, Cipriano, you starved in the streets for 12 years, and now you're here. You didn't get here just that you could eat your fill and step on the people below you. No, I was going to make a difference, make things better for the people like me. People I was.
And
when I heard what you had been accused of doing, a little voice in my head said, Cipriano, you're a prince. You can't afford to be wrong. And that's where I failed not just you, but our kingdom. I owe you and our people my trust. I'm sorry for failing you.
well, you are a prince. You have your rank to think about. Because it's that rank that can make all the difference. If you're suited to the job, anyway.
He looks at you.
I think he reaches up and we see him pulling the strap off of that mark of rank on his shoulder plate and he sets it on the desk. I'm shit at this job, all right? I never wanted it. And my threat to Prince Elias still stands. You don't need to have that on your conscience.
Cipriano turns to look out the window. I'd be lying if I said that the thought of no longer being liable for your actions isn't enticing. Then he looks back at you. But with the way things are going, I suspect that threat to Elias may be of more use to me than you think. Elias is not a stupid boy. Oh, I suppose.
No, he's not.
He does his best to put on airs. During the funeral today, he did not act like a prince slighted. He acted like he had won. Kai.
Who's to say he hasn't?
Me. While I still breathe, that villain will not gain a square inch of this kingdom. You may keep the pauldron or leave it. You have already given more than enough to your kingdom. But if you have more to give, your people might need it.
Well, I've already lost everything that mattered anyway, so what the fuck? He snatches it up, but he doesn't put it back on for now. Tell me something. What are you getting me involved in now?
Well, if things go well, absolutely nothing. He smiles and he sits down. And if they don't, a war with all of the kingdoms. And I think that's where we cut. We don't see Elias tonight. We do see a dark cave somewhere in the outskirts of the city, outside the wall, up in the shard-like mountains. We see a flash of lightning, and then a few moments later a roll of thunder, and then labored panting, as a weakened Varun pulls herself into the cave. And we see Vidhatu step out of the shadows. Brother, they found me. And he looks down at her and sort of nudges her with his boot. You don't look too wounded. The letter. Did you place it? Now, is now really the time? Did you place it? Yes, of course I did. And Vidhatu gets down on both of his knees, and we see now a shot over Varun's shoulder at the face of Vidhatu, and then behind him we see the large, half-rotten head of a dead dragon with sort of luminescent blood slowly pooling out between its teeth, crackling with energy. And Vidhatu raises a small cup to Varun's lips with the blood and pours it. Drink, sister. You'll have your strength back soon. And that is where we end episode 5. So, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back, not next week. We're going to be taking a week off next week, but we will be back with episode 6 in 2 weeks' time. But before that, let's go around and do some shout-outs. Our good but in pain summer sun. Jess, who are you? Where can people find you?
I'm on the internet, apparently.
Wow.
As Little Cup of Joe on Twitch and Twitter, and it's not there, but also on Patreon, because that's new.
Oh, yeah.
I do RPG shows, and I stream shit like Otome games, although we've been on a bit of a extended break because they were getting really sad and I needed to not do that every weekend for a while.
They were getting oof.
Yep, we'll be coming back to that in the near future, probably next month, but I've been taking some time off from dating sad sword husbands and watching everything go to hell. So doing happy stuff like this show instead.
Yep.
Why date the sad sword husband when you can be the sad sword husband?
Oh my god.
Truth.
If you can't date him, join him.
That's it.
Awesome. Jolie, where can people find our creepy witch aunt?
When I'm not being a creepy witch aunt, I guess I'm on Twitter at Jolieolio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm here every Sunday playing this, and I'm gonna be on Fun Shots soon.
Yes.
In like a month, which would be great. And I have been finally, after like several months of trying to recover, getting to some plans together to finally run my own campaign of Burning Wheel.
Yes.
Finally. So that's coming soon. Very soon.
Awesome. I very much look forward to that. I'm also looking forward to, in Burning Wheel news, playing some Burning Wheel with you starting.
Yeah, me too.
Starting in June. Because Jolie is going to be on The Burning Shores of Agilia, which is our 4-episode Burning Wheel short chat that we'll be doing for Fun Shots. So.
Yeah.
And last but absolutely not least, our sweet, anxious spring girl. Lindy, where can people find you?
Oh
Hopefully
my goodness.
Being less stressed.
I know. Hopefully. People can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I play and DM a lot of tabletop RPGs. I DM Jess on Tuesdays and Call of Cthulhu, where I murdered two player characters last week. So let's find out what happened this week.
Not worried at all.
Also do spoopy Ravenloft stuff, and I get to play a middle-aged warlock man on Miss Sandria. Also, going to be on May Black Roses Bloom this week again on Tales from the Grim, where I play my little, Benittle artificer Kender. She's just pretty. She's just so great, and a slight Minnesota accent.
My God,
I love her. I adore
so
her.
Good.
She's a chaotic baby. But yeah, I can't wait for the next week of this. I'm really glad we're playing this weekly now. By the way, just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
And she's not here. I mean, she is. She's in chat. She's not on stream, but I wanna shout out our missing cast member, being really role playing her ass off as a dead guy. Summer.
She's really good at it. Like, super in character.
If you want some baby pictures, go check out her Twitter at JustASummerJob. If you want some awesome streams when she comes back from hiatus, go take a look at her Twitch channel, twitch.tv/off_the-table, where they play all sorts of dramatic and smoochy games. And yes, hello, that leaves me. I am Dylan, aka Anarsis, on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Itch.io, and Patreon. Gosh, I thank you all so much. This has been great. I will be live again on Wednesday with more Prey, probably. I have a suspicion we're getting kind of close to the end, so maybe we'll get the end of that. And then I'm not sure what game I'll be playing after Prey, but I will be putting up a poll on Twitter to pick my next game. And I will be live on Saturday the 18th for our next episode of Fun Shots. We will be playing a one-shot of Laser Kittens entitled Pew Pew Mew Mew. Lauren, aka JL Nice Girl, or JL_Nice Girl on Twitter, will be facilitating that. We will be very cute kittens. If you know the, I'm going to mispronounce this, Kegel Cats on Twitter, and Latte the Kitten, we're sort of shooting for that level of cute, but also we'll be kittens with superpowers, so that should be fun. And we'll be taking a week off from this show, but I might see about putting something else in that time slot. If not, I will direct you toward somebody doing something awesome instead. Before I go, let me take a look at the alerts and say some thank yous. Thank you to Weirdness 101 for the follow earlier, and thank you, Rock, for the 200 bits, getting in that donation to the channel-wide bit goal to have me run a one-shot of Monster of the Week. So, Super Latte, yes, that. It's going to be good. That's all I have to say. Thank you all so much. I hope that you enjoyed this, but most importantly, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night.